What up, homies? This is an empty plate, but it won't be for long. We're making breakfast. We're making breakfast sexy again. My goodness, did we see a clone of Justin Timberlake? That was hideous on TV last night. Holy crow, is he weird looking? We saw the most hideous clone of Justin Bieber in the world. It was funny and hideous all at once. It was actually repulsive. Super repulsive. He's on TLC show. I was like, what in the hell? The biceps on this guy are bigger than his head. He's only like 4'2", and he was on this Plathville show. But oh my goodness, bro, weird ass dude. Roids called. They said, slow down, kid. Holy, even roids were choked. How much roids? Even roids were like, you gotta slow down, bro. Hulk Hogan was in the hospital one time with some kind of problem with his leg. He's like, steroids are bad, kids. You guys remember that video? I'll play it for you here. I'm gonna see if I can find it. Hey Google, are you always listening?
No, I'm not always listening. I don't have a constant audio feed from your environment. I only process the text you type or speak to me when you interact with me.
Yeah, not buying that. Hey Robert, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing well, thanks for asking. How can I help you today?
I need you to tell me everything you know about Hulk Hogan doing steroids back in the 80s and 90s, and then he went on TV on a commercial, and he was in the hospital saying how steroids were bad, kids. Remember that?
You're recalling a significant period in professional wrestling history, specifically the steroid scandal that rocked the WWF, now WWE, in the early 1990s, and Hulk Hogan's involvement. Here's what I know about it. Hulk Hogan's steroid use in the 80s and 90s. Widespread use. It's widely acknowledged that steroid use was prevalent in professional wrestling during the golden era of the 1980s and early 1990s. Wrestlers felt pressure to maintain large, muscular physiques, and steroids were often used to achieve this, and to aid in recovery from the rigorous schedule. Hogan's admission, Hulk Hogan, as one of the biggest stars of the era, was central to this discussion. While he initially denied steroid use, notably on the Arsenio Hall show in 1990, he later admitted to using anabolic steroids since 1976. This admission came during testimony in a federal trial, the Vince McMahon steroid trial 1994. This was the big one. WWF owner Vince McMahon was indicted on charges of distributing steroids to his wrestlers and requiring them to take them. Hogan was a key witness for the prosecution. Hogan's testimony. Testifying under immunity from prosecution, Hogan stated that he had taken steroids, often obtained through a doctor named George Zahorian, who had worked as a ringside physician for the WWF. However, crucial to McMahon's defense, Hogan testified that McMahon had never asked him to take steroids or bought them on his behalf. McMahon's acquittal. Despite Hogan's admission of his own use, his testimony ultimately weakened the prosecution's case against McMahon, and McMahon was found not guilty on all charges. The hospital commercial and anti-steroid message. You're remembering correctly that there was a period where Hulk Hogan publicly spoke out against steroid use. After the steroid scandal and trial, there was a heightened awareness of the issue. While I can't find a specific hospital commercial where Hogan was explicitly in a hospital bed speaking out against steroids, it's very likely you're recalling a broader effort by Hogan and the wrestling industry to present a more anti-drug stance following the controversies. Public image shift. After the trial, the WWF and later other promotions implemented stricter drug testing policies to try and clean up their image. Wrestlers, including Hogan.
What year was the trial where Hogan testified against Vince McMahon?
The trial where Hulk Hogan testified against Vince McMahon was in 1994.
When was the next time Hulk Hogan became the heavyweight champion of the world? After 1994.
After the 1994 steroid trial, Hulk Hogan left the WWF, now WWE, and joined World Championship Wrestling, WCW. He became a World Heavyweight Champion again very quickly in WCW, winning the WCW World Heavyweight Championship on July 17, 1994. This was just a few months after the trial. He went on to have several more reigns as WCW World Heavyweight Champion throughout the rest of the 1990s, notably as Hollywood Hogan during the NWO era. His next reign as a WWE World Champion, after his initial run in the WWF, occurred much later in 2002, when he returned to the company and defeated Triple H for the undisputed WWE Championship.
Did Hulk Hogan receive a bunch of money after 1994?
Yes, Hulk Hogan received a significant amount of money after 1994, particularly during his time in World Championship Wrestling, WCW. After leaving the WWF in 1994, he joined WCW, which was looking to challenge the WWF's dominance. They were willing to pay top dollar for established stars like Hogan. His contracts with WCW were legendary for their lucrative terms. Here are some key details about his earnings in WCW. Massive overall earnings. Between 1996 and 2000, Hogan reportedly earned...
Did Vince McMahon own shares in the WCW in 1994?
No, Vince McMahon did not own shares in WCW in 1994. In 1994, World Championship Wrestling, WCW, was owned by Turner Broadcasting System, founded by Ted Turner. WCW was a direct competitor to Vince McMahon's World Wrestling Federation, WWF, now WWE. The Monday Night Wars between WWF and WCW were in full swing during the mid to late 1990s, and they were fierce rivals. It wasn't until 2001 that Vince McMahon, through the WWF, purchased the assets of WCW from AOL Time Warner, which had acquired Turner Broadcasting. This marked the end of WCW as a separate entity and effectively won the Monday Night Wars for McMahon.
Wow, 7 years. How much did he buy it for?
Vince McMahon purchased the assets of WCW for a surprisingly low price, often cited as approximately $2 million. This deal, which took place in 2001, was considered a bargain basement price because WCW, despite its past success, was in severe financial decline and had lost its lucrative television contract. The sale included the WCW brand, trademarks, intellectual property, and its massive video library. Some reports break down the total to around $4.2 million, with the WCW trademarks and intellectual property going for about $2.5 million, and the tape library for $1.7 million. Regardless of the exact figure, it was a fraction of what WCW was once valued at, making it a highly advantageous acquisition for McMahon.
What is the value of WCW right now?
Walker Cripps Group plc is currently trading at 14.16 GBX.
What is the World Championship Wrestling worth now?
You're asking a great question that has a nuanced answer, as WCW no longer exists as a standalone entity. When Vince McMahon's WWE, then WWF, purchased WCW's assets in 2001, the price was approximately $2 million for the trademarks and intellectual property, and an additional $1.7 million for the video library, making a total of about $4.2 million. This was considered a fire sale price because WCW had lost its crucial television contract and was bleeding money. Today, you cannot assign a direct worth to WCW as a separate company because it was dissolved and its assets absorbed into WWE. However, the value of those WCW assets is now integrated into TKO Group Holdings, which is the publicly traded company that owns both WWE and the Ultimate Fighting Championship, UFC. TKO Group Holdings has a market capitalization in the tens of billions of dollars. The WCW brand and its extensive video library are valuable components of TKO's overall portfolio. This content is used to boost the WWE Network Peacock subscriptions. Fans can watch thousands of hours of classic WCW matches, shows, and pay-per-views. Generate merchandise sales. WCW branded merchandise continues to be popular. Enhance current WWE programming. WCW legends and storylines are often referenced or integrated into WWE shows. So while WCW itself isn't a company you can put a price tag on anymore, its historical significance and the assets WWE acquired from it are a valuable part of a much larger, multi-billion-dollar entertainment company.
Who owns TKO? That's a great question.
TKO Group Holdings is majority owned by Endeavor Group Holdings, Inc. Endeavor is a global sports and entertainment company, more specifically, controlling ownership in TKO, and therefore WWE and UFC, is ultimately held by entities controlled by the private equity firm Silver Lake. Silver Lake took Endeavor private in March 2025, which further solidified their control over TKO.
Who owns Silver Lake?
Silver Lake is a private equity firm, and as such, it's not owned in the traditional sense by a single entity like a public company is by its shareholder.
Who is the president of Silver Lake?
Silver Lake does not have a single president.
Who is the CEO of Silver Lake?
Silver Lake operates with co-CEOs and managing partners rather than a single president or CEO. The current co-CEOs and managing partners of Silver Lake are Egon Durbin, Greg Mondre. They lead the firm's overall strategy and operations. Ken Howe is the chairman.
Who is Egon Durbin?
Egon Durbin is a prominent figure in the world of private equity, specifically in technology investments. Here's a summary of who he is based on the information available. Co-CEO and managing partner of Silver Lake. He currently holds this top leadership position at Silver Lake, a global technology investment firm, which he joined in 1999 as a founding principal. He became co-CEO in December 2019. Background. Prior to joining Silver Lake, he worked in Morgan Stanley's investment banking division, focusing on technology and mergers and acquisitions. He graduated from Georgetown University with a BS in finance. Board memberships. He serves on the boards of directors of several significant companies, including TKO Group Holdings, which owns WWE and UFC, Endeavor Group Holdings, Inc., where he is also chairman of the board, Dell Technologies, Inc., City Football Group, Qualtrics.
Who owns Dell Technologies?
Dell Technologies is a publicly traded company on the New York Stock Exchange, NYSE, under the ticker symbol DEEL. While ownership is distributed among a diverse group of shareholders, including institutional and individual investors, Michael Dell, the founder, remains a significant figure and is the largest individual shareholder, holding a substantial stake in the company. Other major shareholders include large institutional investors like Vanguard Group Inc., BlackRock Inc., and State Street Corp.
That's not good. Hey Google. Who owns IBM?
IBM, or International Business Machines Corporation, is a publicly traded company. This means its ownership is distributed among a large number of shareholders. The largest shareholders of IBM are primarily institutional investors, such as Vanguard Group Inc., BlackRock Inc., State Street Corp., Geode Capital Management, LLC. While these large investment firms hold significant portions of IBM stock on behalf of their clients who invest in mutual funds, ETFs, etc., individual investors also own shares. Additionally, key executives within IBM, like CEO Arvind Krishna, hold individual shares in the company.
Arvind Krishna? Well, that makes sense. You're backdooring it. You're backdooring it all.